I can't
Today's
believe this
meeting
became the most contentious conversation today. Like, this is literally the most contentious convo we had. And it actually ties into what I wanted to talk about with respect to the Kamala drama going on TikTok. I think some TikTokers are like, she sucks. And then a couple like liberal black TikTokers were talking about how like, sit your white ass down and listen. But then the white TikTokers that were saying she sucks are also like notorious for making out-of-pocket takes that get dunked on by everybody. And I wanted to lean on it a little bit and I wanted to see it. But I guess Hank Green has a take on Kamala's TikTok.
She needs to lean into the coconut business. She needs to come onto this.
Wrong. Leaning into these fucking memes is gonna come across as inauthentic. She's a 59-year-old woman. Let her be herself and let the people organically make memes. If she leans into it, then everyone's gonna know she's trying to market it. It's free marketing. Let the free marketing work. There's no reason to do that.
And calls her damn
opposite of that. I think if Kamala Harris came on here and called you her little coconut and she split the apple down symmetrical lines, we would turn on her so fast. Donald Trump was good at Twitter because Donald Trump spent his entire life on Twitter. I am only, as a 44-year-old man, I'm only able to use this platform because I freaking use it. Like, I'm embarrassed by my TikTok screen time. We do not want Kamala Harris to spend time getting good at TikTok. She needs to be campaigning.
I think the best possible thing she should do is if she's gonna come on TikTok, she should do the thing that other fucking the Jim Jeffries did, or not Jim Jeffries. The fuck's the name of the guy? I forgot again. God damn it. Jeff Jackson. If she's gonna do that, she should do that. I don't think she should be like trying to fucking make memes and shit. The Working Families Party endorsed Kamala Harris, and I love how they explain their reasoning. It's not about loving her or the Dems. It's about how difficult it'd be to organize against Trump. Building power won't be possible under Trump. Under Trump, we'll be left playing defense and trying to deflect the worst of his attacks against our communities. I think personally, it's too early without assurances. In terms of Gaza, I'm not there yet. I need to see some fucking movement. But now looking at the polls in Michigan seemingly showing Kamala winning, I don't think that they're going to turn around and change course. They're going to see that and go, oh, that's enough for us. HasanAbi had Think Peace Tribe summed up the TikTok discourse well.
Yo, PSA to all my non-black leftists on this app, all my
Oh, I saw pieces of this.
fucking non-black mutuals, bro. Watch your ass, bro, because these black liberals, they coming. they coming for your ass, bro.
Yeah.
I swear to God, bro. You can have some.
He's right, 100%. Especially that the gay dude. Oh my God, dude. He was like, wasn't he literally fucking advocating for Biden? Or am I imagining that? Like, he was the top of the K-Hive guy. What's his name? Oh my God, I've seen him fucking destroy people's souls, dude. Yeah, that's the guy. The fucking White House. He's like doxed people.
Yeah.
I love him.
If that's the problem, we knew he was old when we voted for him the first time.
He got the Kente clout from Nancy.
But it was so unnecessary. Just say that he did absolutely nothing wrong, but yet you want to bring up his age again. You want to dog whistle again. We know this isn't about Biden.
Dog whistle. Dog whistle about a fucking 80-year-old man who once famously said that, like, he doesn't want his kids growing up in a racial jungle.
True.
Okay, that's crazy. I love this guy, and I'm also kind of scared because, like, I think he will kill someone. Like, if it came down to it, especially now that Kamala is the presidential candidate. He was Mr. K-Hive, but then he was like Mr. Biden during the Mr. K-Hive. He will pack you up, dude. You're done. But black leftists catch the same heat from black liberals. Well, yeah, but white liberals, like, it's different. White liberals don't want to even remotely appear as racist, even though they sometimes do have racist opinions. And I think they don't know how to deal with black liberals in the same way that like a white leftist would just actually many white leftists also have an issue with not knowing how to treat black people normally. Just a white versus black thing in that regard. It really is.
Valid critiques and criticism about Kamala, bro. You can say some actual factual shit. It don't fucking matter. You gonna be beating racism allegations for the next few months. Bruh, I swear to, and I saw this in real time. I saw a video where this girl said something that I would say. She's not black, but she said some shit I would say. She said, you was on top of a cop car saying ACAB, but now you're just so willing to vote for a cop in 2024. Rightful criticism. That's the shit I would say, but it's coming out of her non-black mouth. So guess what? She getting whacked in the comments. I'm seeing stitches to her video. She getting whacked off rip. It's just like, oh.
Look, my thing with Kamala, if I'm going to talk about my ideological predisposition and my opinion, why I would be critical of Kamala Harris, yes, I think that she is a middle of the road progressive district attorney / attorney general before a time where like progressive district attorneys or attorney generals were even a thing, but she wasn't really, because there are limitations to how you can behave like that. And as far as like being a cop, she literally fucking has on the record talked against spending money on initiatives such as education from a return on investment standpoint, but she's also done the exact opposite. And that's what I mean in terms of like being a middle of the road progressive DA. She was a right-wing liberal in San Fran. She primaried a progressive DA. Yes, it's still San Francisco. That's number one. And number two, it's from a time frame where like this wasn't like the Larry Krasner era. For San Francisco, in my opinion, her attitude towards not focusing on education in terms of like recidivism rates and things like that, and openly actually being antagonistic to that, is not good. You can't do that. Do I think that she's changed her attitude since then? I think probably. I can't really get a good enough read on her, especially because I mean, this is what I talked to with Ested. This is literally what we talked about yesterday. It's like she's very malleable, and that makes it hard to pin down. Like with Pete, I can tell. I know where the fuck that motherfucker's coming from. I know what his background is. I know what he truly believes. With Kamala Harris, I can't really tell. And she doesn't have like a long enough track record, a consistent enough track record for me to actually associate her with any sort of tangible politics. I know her instincts are that she wanted to present herself as progressive, but that was under the Trump administration. Every Democrat was running around talking about how they're fucking gonna do a Maoist peasant revolution or some shit. It's hard to pin her down, and I genuinely don't know. That's why I keep saying like, I need to wait. We gotta wait. On the issue of policing, she has been middle of the road, which means in the country like America, center right. That's just what it is, because America is a very draconian country when it comes to criminal justice. It's so right wing and it's so reactionary, like our attitude, I mean. We consider people to be progressive DAs because they prosecute police. Bro, your job is to prosecute crimes. Like, what do you mean? If a cop is doing a crime, you're supposed to prosecute the cop. But in the United States of America, because we're so fucking right wing, we're like, that's crazy, bro. This guy's actually really progressive because he's prosecuting cops, as is his job. That's something that you need to think about when you make this analysis. Policing as an institution, despite my best attempts, and boy do I try, is still one of the most popular institutions in the nation. People love cops. They want to suck cops. They want to fuck cops. They want to suck and fuck cops all the time. They want to get down on their knees and suck cops to completion all the time. It's weird. It doesn't make any sense, especially if you're in a community like this one. You're like, what the fuck? They're just so bad at their jobs. How is that possible? They literally think cops are diving in their dicks to stop rape, okay? They think like cops are literally body blocking cocks from raping people, when obviously the reality is the exact opposite. When they're not the ones doing the sexual assault, sometimes legal in many states. I believe it was like 30 or something until recently. Like New York itself made sexual violence against someone who you have incarcerated to be a crime like 2 or 3 years ago. That's how fucking crazy it is. Or when they're, too busy not looking at the rape kit backlog or whatever. Cops are rarely ever doing their goddamn jobs. But Americans don't think that way. They love cops and think cops are doing a phenomenal job. So that's what you need to think about when you're analyzing Kamala Harris's like cop background, how she will be perceived. I think there's a good balance there for some suburban whites that would otherwise be terrified of the prospect of a black and Indian woman being president, but then she's a prosecutor. So then they're like, oh, okay, I guess she's not like, whatever fucking racist thing they believe. I assume that they think like if you're black, they just like maybe automatically you will let black people do all the crimes for free or something. I don't know. I don't know what fucking racist white people believe to that degree. But yeah, this is the Moschino Dorito video that popped off, and a lot of people yelled at him. And I think it's weird. It's weird to just like make a video like this, because the video that he's referencing is like so fucking gruesome. It's gruesome, but it's also so commonplace. And I don't know. I feel like it's an emotional moment. Kamala Harris also being a black woman while also being a cop puts this in a weird framework as well. Him being white puts this in a weird frame. This is an emotionally charged situation, and making a TikTok like this out of it almost minimizes the impact of it. Like, that's the problem. People 5 seconds after watching police body cam footage of them murdering someone in their own home.
You need to vote for a cop. And if you don't vote for the cop, you're not voting for the cop. You need to vote for the cop, because it's the cop.
Bro, it has 18,000 comments.
Because it's cop's turn to be president.
Yeah, it just comes across very callous. I don't know. People haven't yelled at me too much, with the exception of the one time I said Kamala has no riz, and only my own community has yelled at me. I haven't gotten fucking yelled at by like outside of the community yet on my takes on Kamala Harris. There is a reason why I haven't like immediately run to be like, oh my God, I'm endorsing Kamala Harris. I'm so excited. I'm so coconut pilled or whatever the fuck, right? Because I don't do that. I need to see what she does. I need to see how she messages. I need to see like what her political instincts are. I need to see what her opinion is on issues. I need to see how she represents herself. Your Kamala takes are generally a lot more in favor of her than a lot of leftists, so I don't think you're as scrutinized. I mean, I was pretty critical of her when I didn't like the way she managed the last round of the Israel stuff. Two separate combos happening on my timeline. One about Sonia, and other about how U.S. voters should be expected to care about foreign policy. You're talking about police lynching and shrugging about foreign U.S.-backed slaughter. There's literally a New York Times outpost in Tel Aviv. Yeah, this is a beautiful way to put it. It's 100% correct. It's white supremacy through and through. The through lines between the militant police behaving like a domestic military force against those who are marginalized, against black people specifically, is exactly the same way that like the IDF operates in Gaza as a belligerent occupier. But having said that, in this circumstance, there's also a direct... Oh, did I say New York Times? I meant NYPD. You guys know what I mean. Shut the fuck up. It's in front of you. There is a direct fucking collaboration between the New York Police Department, and not only the New York Police Department, but also all local police department. They got training by the IDF, the Israeli occupying force, after 9/11. It's not even like a academic argument that you need to make, because normally we would have to say like, well, police do behave like a colonial orifice in marginalized communities. It's like a domestic colony, the way we treat black people in this country, and that's like academic shit. But in this circumstance, like, you don't even need to fucking make analogies, because they are literally trained by the Israeli occupying force. I was talking about the kettling and corral techniques demonstrated during the Black Lives Matter rally, you know, way back when that was happening. And I pointed to the IDF training American police forces in crowd apprehension. And Ben Shapiro said it was blood libel, which is weird because that's objectively a thing that is real. But Ben Shapiro's been doing that blood libel shit in terms of like launching a defense for quite some time. You know what I mean?
Former Black Panther, anarchism and the Black Revolution. I just think this first like sentence or two. If there was one thing that should have been learned by Black revolutionary organizers in the 1960s, is that you don't organize a mass movement or a social revolution just by creating one central organization with one leader, such as a vanguard political party or a radical labor union. More background on Lorenzo. Following an attempt to frame him on weapons charges and for threatening the life of a Ku Klux Klan member, Irvin hijacked a plane to Cuba in February 1969. Captured by the CIA in Eastern Europe, he was extradited to the United States, put on trial, and sentenced to life in prison in 1970.
I mean, this ain't gonna change anything. Like, people are not gonna be like, you're base, white boy. Thank you for reading this guy. Like, yeah, no, it's just like, it comes across as very callous. Like, I get the point he's trying to make. It's just that it's not gonna be well received by any side ultimately, because one, you're a white guy saying it, and in a situation like this, especially when there's like a really obviously gruesome fucking image of a black woman being executed in their own home, it's probably not the best time to be like, and yeah, you got to vote for a cop who's running for president, who also happens to be a black woman that people are very stoked on in this very moment. It almost cuts across the severity of the action of that murder. It almost feels like it's a talking point that you're using. Yeah, it feels like you're just using Sonia Massey as a talking point, simply to like yell at people that want to vote for Kamala Harris. And all of a sudden that like cuts away at the gruesome nature of the imagery. I mean, it's a serious reality for a lot of people. You're being a lib. Yeah, dude, I'm being a lib. I mean, first of all, I've been yelled at by multiple extremely online groups, like specifically on Black Twitter, and have been called a white supremacist a million times over. Okay, this ain't my first fucking foray with liberalism online. So no, the way people read that is like, oh, you're showing me a book. Okay, that's great. Leftists be posting hashtag vote blue, hashtag Kamala Harris, hashtag BLM, and hashtag Free Palestine in the same post. I mean, yeah, it is pretty funny. I do see people on Twitter, not TikTok as much, because I'm not really on TikTok that much. I'm seeing a lot of people post like with like the Palestinian flag in the bio, and they're just like, obviously I'm riding with Kamala. Like, what she said against Hamas terrorists is fucking so so resilient and so sound. The irony of leftists is this: their reach isn't even big enough to reach incredibly online conservatives who insist Kamala is in fact a literal Marxist. Yeah, they do say that, which is pretty funny. They legitimately believe it. They're like, Kamala is a Marxist agent. Everybody knows if you're a black woman, if you're black and a woman, that's double Marxist. God forbid if you're gay, that's triple Marxist. Okay, that's like Karl Marx is coming back from the grave saying, you're the real Marxist, not me. I'm giving you my last name. More like Karl Marx. Got him.